Listen up. You can read every book, watch every video, and tell yourself 1,000 times that you love yourself. But if you don't grasp this one thing, the love you seek will always remain out of reach. Today, I'm not here to give you theory. I'm here to give you the key, something no one has ever told you before. A truth Carl Jung uncovered, one that will forever change how you relate to yourself and others. Are you ready to discover it? If you're watching this, it's because something inside you already senses there's more. This isn't just about accepting your shadow or balancing your energies. It's about taking those concepts and applying them in a way that transforms your life. By the end of this, you won't just understand why you've struggled to feel loved. You'll walk away with a clear, practical strategy to revolutionize your relationship with yourself, and, as a result, with others. This isn't about theory. It's about action. Your relationships aren't random. What attracts or repels you in others is a direct reflection of what remains unresolved within you. Think of the last person who stirred intense emotions in you, whether love or frustration. That person isn't just a passing figure in your life. They're a mirror, revealing something buried deep within you. Do you find yourself drawn to people who make you feel insecure, or constantly annoyed by those who display traits you reject in yourself? Today, you'll learn how to use that mirror to uncover the parts of yourself crying out for attention and healing. Because until you do, you'll keep searching for love in all the wrong places. The real question isn't, why does this person act this way? The real question is, what is this person showing me about myself? The relational mirror. This concept, the mirror of relationships, goes far deeper than it seems. When someone triggers a strong emotional reaction in you, you're facing a projection of your own shadow. Look at your relationship patterns. Do you keep attracting people with similar traits, or avoiding certain types altogether? Both reactions are equally revealing. Attraction and repulsion are two sides of the same coin. They point to something crucial in your inner world. When you're intensely drawn to someone, ask, what qualities do I admire in them? Could these be traits I haven't fully embraced in myself? For example, you might envy someone's freedom because your own life feels too controlled. When someone irritates you, ask, what exactly bothers me? Could I have the same trait but deny it? Maybe arrogance in others triggers you because, deep down, you struggle with your own superiority complex, one you're ashamed to admit. This kind of self-awareness is transformative, but it demands brutal honesty. You must face the parts of yourself you've hidden, even from yourself. And in that recognition, true healing begins. Your most challenging relationships are your greatest teachers. The person who constantly annoys you, they might hold the key to unlocking parts of you that need attention. Certain people aren't in your life by accident. They're karmic messengers, guiding you toward wholeness. Remember, just as others mirror parts of you, you're also a mirror for them. When you grasp this, you approach interactions with both compassion and responsibility. You'll realize that when someone reacts negatively to you, they're not really responding to you, they're reacting to their own reflection in you. Instead of defending yourself, you can respond with understanding. The goal isn't just to spot patterns, it's to transform them. Once you recognize what part of you is being mirrored in a difficult relationship, you can start healing it. As you integrate these disowned or underdeveloped aspects, your relationships will shift. naturally and effortlessly. This integration doesn't happen overnight. Don't expect instant results. Observe your emotional reactions like a scientist, without judgment, only curiosity. Over time, you'll notice that people who once triggered you no longer hold the same power. Healthier, more balanced relationships will emerge. Instead of attracting people who reflect your wounds, you'll draw those who mirror your healed, whole self. You'll no longer seek in others what you lack within. Instead, you'll build connections from shared wholeness, not emotional dependency. Real love only becomes possible. After this journey, when you love from wholeness, not lack, your relationships become spaces for mutual growth, not emotional neediness. You won't need someone else to complete you. You'll already be complete. And here's the ultimate truth. The part of yourself you reject is the same part sabotaging your relationships. You can't fully love if you don't accept all of who you are. Think about what you dislike in yourself. The things you try to hide. That's your shadow. And until you integrate it, you'll keep projecting your insecurities onto others. For example, if arrogance in others bothers you, you might fear being seen as arrogant yourself. If you're drawn to people who make you feel small, part of you may feel not enough. Here's how to integrate your shadow. Not to become perfect, but to become whole. Because only when you accept everything you are can you love and be loved authentically. Your shadow isn't just your dark side. It also includes unrecognized gifts and talents. When you reject parts of yourself, you fragment your being, creating an invisible barrier to the deep connection you crave. But when you embrace all of you, you stop seeking love as something external. You become love. And from that place, true connection becomes inevitable. This fragmentation makes us seek in others what we deny in ourselves. Every time you harshly judge someone, you're facing a mirror. That trait you hate in them? It's a reflection of something unacknowledged in you. Pay attention to your strongest reactions. They hold the most valuable clues. For example, you might despise vulnerability in others because you fear your own fragility, or criticize ambition because you haven't let yourself acknowledge your own drive. Your shadow also shapes romantic attraction. We're drawn to people who express what we've repressed. If you're irresistibly attracted to dominant personalities, ask, is there a part of me that longs to express more power? If you always rescue partners, you might be projecting your own need for care. Relationship sabotage happens in subtle ways. If you fear abandonment, you might push people away before they can leave. If you fear control, you might resist even reasonable requests. These patterns aren't random. They're defense mechanisms of your unintegrated shadow. Integrating your shadow takes courage. Start by seeing it without judgment. When you feel strong dislike towards someone, ask, where does this exist in me? Not to blame yourself, but to know yourself deeply. Integration also means expressing repressed traits in safe ways. If you've stifled creativity, find outlets to express it. If you've denied your need for connection, practice vulnerability with trusted people. Over time, these disowned parts transform from hidden saboteurs into strengths. A powerful exercise: write a letter to your shadow. Acknowledge it. Thank it for trying to protect you. State your intention to integrate it with compassion. This inner dialogue can begin a profound reconciliation with yourself. The beautiful paradox. By accepting your darkest parts, you become lighter. By embracing your flaws, you become more authentic. And this authenticity opens the door to real connections. The deepest relationships form when two people show up whole, with both light and shadow integrated. You won't need a partner to complete you. You'll arrive already complete. You'll no longer project insecurities onto others because you've made peace with them. Relationships aren't just about feeling good, they're about growth. Every conflict, every disappointment, is a chance to understand yourself better. Here, you'll learn to see love not as an end goal, but as a journey of self-discovery. Until you do, you'll repeat the same mistakes. For example, if you always end up feeling abandoned, there's an abandonment wound needing healing. If you seek partners who make you feel safe, part of you doesn't feel safe alone. You'll discover how to use love as a tool for growth, not a frustrating pursuit. Love isn't just pleasure, it's transformation. When we treat love as just comfort, we lose its deepest power. Relationships are life's most intense classroom, the clearest mirror of your inner world. Everyone who enters your life brings a lesson, and until you learn it, the pattern will repeat. The faces may change, but the core issue stays the same. Relationship patterns aren't accidents. Look at your romantic history. You'll spot recurring themes linking seemingly unrelated experiences, always ending up with emotionally unavailable people, constantly attracting projects who need saving. These patterns are invitations for self-reflection, pointing to inner wounds needing acknowledgement. Attachment theory. Early bonds shape adult patterns. If love felt inconsistent in childhood, you'll unconsciously seek inconsistency, because it's familiar, even if painful. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to changing them. The true purpose of romantic love. It's not just to make you happy, though that's a nice bonus. Its purpose is to reveal parts of yourself that would otherwise stay hidden. In intimacy, your deepest fears, defenses, and unmet desires surface. Love isn't about finding the right person. It's about becoming the person who can love deeply and fearlessly. When conflict arises, ask, not who's right, but what is this teaching me about myself? Your overreaction to a comment may reveal an insecurity. Your need for control might mask a fear of abandonment. These uncomfortable insights are treasures for growth. Attractions are also teachers. They pull you toward unexpressed parts of yourself. Admire someone's freedom. You might crave more in your own life. Drawn to creativity? Maybe an inner artist is waiting to emerge. Your strongest attractions aren't random. They're maps to your unrealized potential. Heartbreak is an opportunity. When a relationship ends, you have two choices. Blame the other person and repeat the cycle. Look inward and ask, what can I learn? This choice determines whether you grow bitter or wiser. Mature love doesn't seek perfection. It seeks growth. A relationship rooted in this mindset isn't about individual happiness, but shared evolution. Here, every challenge becomes a chance to expand, break limits, heal together. Paradox: when you embrace love as a growth tool, happiness follows. You'll no longer depend on perfect circumstances or partners to feel fulfilled. Instead, you'll find joy in the process of evolving, of knowing yourself through your partner's mirror. The shift starts when you stop saying, I always end up with the same type, and start asking, why do I keep choosing this type? This change empowers you. You're no longer a victim of fate or others' actions. You become the conscious creator of your relational experiences. Embracing love as growth takes courage. You must face uncomfortable truths. Question deep-seated beliefs. Let go of outdated identities. But the reward is immense. More authentic relationships. Deeper self-awareness. The ability to love from freedom, not need. Why do you repeat the same relationships? The answer lies in your subconscious. Your recurring patterns aren't coincidences. They're signals of unhealed wounds. For example, if you're drawn to people who make you suffer, there's likely an emotional wound seeking attention. If you constantly seek validation, part of you may feel unworthy or unseen. Today, you'll learn to identify these patterns and break the cycle, so you can build healthier connections. Because until you do, you'll keep attracting unfulfilling relationships. Toxic patterns are invisible cycles. They repeat with mathematical precision. You might change partners, but the underlying dynamic stays the same. This isn't bad luck. It's subconscious programming driving your choices without your awareness. These patterns often form in childhood, where you learned love is conditional, e.g., based on achievements. Affection comes with criticism. The brain seeks the familiar, even if it's painful. This explains why people leave one toxic relationship only to enter another just like it. Step 1. Develop self-awareness. Review your relationship history like a movie. What themes keep repeating? Always feeling abandoned? Attracted to emotionally unavailable people? Losing yourself in relationships? These aren't accidents. They're clues to your emotional wounds. Behind every toxic pattern lies a limiting belief. If you attract betrayal, you might believe you don't deserve loyalty. If you attract control, you might feel incapable of directing your life. These beliefs act like magnets, drawing experiences that confirm them. Neuroscience. Patterns are neurological, not just psychological. Through repetition, you've built strong neural pathways. To rewire them, you need awareness. New experiences that contradict old patterns. A powerful exercise. Identify your triggers. Notice situations that spark disproportionate reactions. For example, a partner's delay triggers fear of abandonment. A casual comment about your appearance triggers insecurity. These triggers are windows to your core wounds. Healing begins when you take responsibility. This isn't about self-blame, it's about acknowledging your role in these cycles. As long as you see yourself as a victim, you'll stay trapped. Real change starts with ownership. Breaking patterns requires reconnecting with your body. Relational addictions work like other addictions. There are physical signals before compulsive behaviors. Learn to recognize how attraction to toxicity feels in your body. Intense excitement, false sense of security, comforting familiarity. This awareness lets you choose consciously, not react automatically. A key step: set boundaries with others and yourself. If you lose yourself in relationships, create rituals to stay connected to yourself. If you attract narcissists, define what behaviors you won't tolerate. Boundaries are acts of self-love that stop self-sabotage. Real transformation happens when you choose the new, even if it feels uncomfortable. If you're used to drama, a calm relationship might initially feel boring. This discomfort is normal. You're building new neural pathways. Remember, change is a process, not an event. There will be setbacks, moments you're tempted to return to old patterns. But each time you choose differently, you strengthen your new path. Neuroplasticity is on your side. Every new choice rewires your brain. The goal isn't perfect relationships. It's awareness. When you're no longer controlled by subconscious programming, you can create relationships that reflect who you are now, not the wounds of your past. You can love from wholeness and freedom, not lack or compulsion. True love isn't found, it's created. When you love yourself unconditionally, love stops being something you seek. It becomes who you are. This is the shift that changes everything. Because until you understand this, you'll keep searching outside for what can only be found within. Love isn't something you give or receive. It's something you are. And when you live from that truth, your relationships stop being sources of pain and become expressions of your true self. Love isn't a destination. It's a journey. We're taught that love is external, something that happens to us if we're lucky. This romantic narrative, while beautiful, keeps us passive and dependent. We wait to be chosen, seen, loved. But this reverses love's true nature. Authentic love springs from within, like a well, not something you extract from others. When you depend on external sources for love, you create a cycle of perpetual lack. Like a leaky bucket, you'll never feel full. External love is always temporary, conditional, limited by others' capacity. The paradigm shift. Realize you're the primary source of your love experience. You don't need permission to love yourself. Self-love isn't a reward for being good enough. It's your birthright. When you remove the barriers you've built against yourself, unconditional self-love becomes revolutionary. In a world that tells you your worth depends on productivity, appearance, achievements, loving yourself means honoring yourself even when you fail, speaking to yourself with the kindness you'd offer a friend, recognizing your inherent worth beyond external validation. As you cultivate self-love, your external relationships transform. You no longer approach others from neediness or emptiness, but from wholeness. You don't seek in others what you lack. You share what you already have. The beautiful irony. When you stop desperately needing love, you become more capable of experiencing it deeply. Your relationships become spaces of expansion, not completion. You don't seek someone to make you happy. You share your existing joy. You don't expect others to heal you, though you may grow together. You don't depend on others for worth, though you appreciate their appreciation. This shift changes your attractions. From lack, you attract people who mirror your unhealed wounds. From wholeness, you attract those who reflect your integrity. The difference between addictive attraction, genuine affinity, self-love isn't narcissism. In fact, it's the opposite. Narcissism stems from deep insecurity, a void seeking constant validation. Authentic self-love comes from embracing your full humanity. It lets you see others more clearly, without projecting your unmet needs onto them. A transformative exercise. Practice self-compassion. When difficult emotions arise, fear, sadness, shame, don't judge or suppress them. Embrace them as part of being human, not flaws to erase. This radical acceptance changes your relationship with your inner world, and by extension, everything external. Love isn't a goal. It's a daily practice. Some days, self-love will feel harder. Old self-criticism may return. Don't be discouraged. Every moment of awareness is a chance to choose love again. Every time you reconnect with yourself after a disconnect, you strengthen your capacity for real love. The greatest paradox. When you stop seeking love as something missing, you realize it's always been there. Like a fish searching for the ocean while swimming in it, you've been immersed in love all along. Your task isn't to find it, but to recognize, allow, and express it. First toward yourself, then naturally toward others. This is the secret mystics and sages have shared for ages. Love isn't something you do. It's who you are. And when you live from that truth, every relationship, every moment becomes an expression of that essence, your truest nature. Love isn't a prize for being enough. It's the state that arises when you fully accept yourself, light and shadow alike. No one will love you as deeply as you can love yourself. And that's the key. When you understand this, love stops being a search and becomes who you are. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to keep exploring how to transform your life from within, subscribe and turn on notifications.